What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. And holy cow, summer has arrived in Kansas. We are in for a heat wave. Air conditioners are working overtime, which means my oven is off for the foreseeable future. So as you guys know, it is Menu Monday, and we're going to go over what worked last week, what changed, and then the tentative plans for this upcoming stretch of wonderful weather. Let's get going. Alright, so I'm really proud to say that for the most part, the week went exactly how I had planned, which makes me super duper happy. I can't remember if I told you what we did, last Sunday for lunch, but we were supposed to do Mexican and we ended up just doing McDonald's and Little Smokies for Sam and Olive Garden soup for me because I was having some sinus congestion issues, which was really affecting my teeth, and I couldn't hardly eat anything. And I really think that I did discuss this last week. So I did make the Monday I had scheduled for the crock pot loaded potato soup, and I did make it, and it turned out really well. I will say I did have to leave it cook longer than I really had wanted to, simply because I went from summer theater and Sam umpired baseball, and so we did not get home until later, and so it had soaked up a lot more of the chicken broth, and it had kind of gotten to this weird kind of tannish gray color, which was not appealing, but it still tasted great. I will say that if I make this, because Sam did like it, so it's not an if, it's a when. When I make this recipe again, which is not going to be in the next month, I need to leave it alone a little bit longer, I would probably add just a little bit extra stock to the crock pot to give it a little bit more liquid. What I ended up doing instead of mashing the potatoes is I have like a little personal blender, and I just put potatoes in it, put some of the stock from the crock pot in it, mulched it together, dumped it back in, stirred it, got more out, did it again, and it worked really well. It made for great, it really turned out great. Tuesday we did leftovers. Wednesday we ended up changing from Domino's to Sam grilled out hot links for us. And then on Thursday I made a TikTok recipe from Dollar Tree Dinners off of TikTok, and it was the smothered frozen burritos, and oh my gosh, those turned out so good. Sam snarfed 4 of the 6 of them I made down in like under 5 minutes. The package comes with 8, but my casserole dish only held 6 really well, so I have 2 extra burritos in the freezer for a later meal. So like if I make this again with just 1 package, I can add 2 more frozen burritos to my package, and then I can make like a small batch of 4. Like it's like a free meal. I was scrolling TikTok while I was waiting for Sam to get home that night and found a recipe for loaded potato skins, and I had everything to make that. So I whipped up a batch of those, and Sam said that those were really good as well. On Friday, I made tater tot casserole. It was so funny. I totally thought I had screwed this recipe up like twice. I misread the recipe, and I thought it said a half a cup of sour cream and 1 cup of milk, when it was actually half a cup of sour cream and half a cup of milk. But I was using up heavy whipping cream from Monday's crock pot recipe. Nothing's going bad. We're using things up right now. And so it was actually still thick and how it was supposed to be. It was fine. And then I stuck it in the oven to bake for 30 minutes, and I took it out, and I'm like, what the hell? I literally spaced out putting the tater tots on top of it. So I'm asking Google, like, did I just completely royally fuck up dinner? And it's like, no, it's fine. Just push the tater tots into the casserole base so that the liquid from the tater, like the frozen from the tater tots, kind of seeps in. It actually turned out really well. I actually might just do it that way going forward. The heavy whipping cream really made everything like creamy, and it was so good. And also, I don't know what recipe I've been using, but I have never put sour cream in my tater tot casserole before, and it was actually really, really good. And when it comes to cheese, I say put cheese on with your heart, especially when it comes to a casserole dish. It was so good. Sam is taking, this is the 28th, and Sam is taking leftovers from that to work for his lunch tomorrow. On Saturday, I had planned to do pulled pork, and we did that. Sam bought a pork tenderloin at Walmart, and I was gonna cut it in half this way, but when I opened up the package, there was like two tenderloins like in there to make one, and I'm like I just like scored. And so I put one, it was like two almost 3 pounds, I think. And I weighed one so I knew how to like base my ingredients for my recipe. But it was like 1.25 pounds, I think. And then in the crock pot, and then I put the other one in a bag in the freezer and labeled it and dated it. I know, who is this person over here? And then Sam worked the Wichita Open on Saturday. So on his way home, he stopped at KFC, which was the plan. And he got KFC, not only the coleslaw, which was the plan, but he also got mashed potatoes and gravy and macaroni and cheese. And so there's a little bit of macaroni and cheese left, and I'll probably have that with my lunch tomorrow. There's a little bit of gravy left, and I'll probably used up in the next couple of days. And we're going to finish up the pulled pork tomorrow, which will be the next menu thing. So here we go. So for the week, and today for dinner we did hot links on the grill with just some leftover bits and bobs and out of the fridge. Okay, so that is last week. I'm really happy about how it went and how I was really able to stick to the plan and what I had planned. So for the week of the 29th through the 5th of July, here we go. Tomorrow for dinner, like I mentioned, we're having leftover pulled pork from Saturday. Sam is umpiring his last rec baseball games of the season, so we will. He'll get off work and go over to Marion. I'll go over to Mom and Dad's after play practice, and I'll heat up the leftover pulled pork, and we'll just eat a couple sandwiches before we go to the ball field. On Tuesday, Sam is actually going to stay after work in McPherson. He's taking the laundry with him because we do laundry at the laundromat over there. And then while he is waiting on stuff to wash and dry, we're going to talk about, and we're just going to do takeout on Tuesday. That way, it doesn't matter what time he gets home. When he gets home, we'll eat whatever he brings home with him. On Wednesday the 1st, we are going to do a roast with carrots, potatoes, and onions in the crock pot. Sam is going to pick up the roast on Tuesday on his way home. Just a little 2.5 pound roast. I already have a bag of carrots. I have leftover red potatoes from last week for the loaded potato soup that we're going to use up. I do have 2 regular russet potatoes that I got from the food bank. But I want to save those in case we want to do like a baked potato in the microwave and in the next couple weeks, because they're fine. So I want to use up the carrots because I've had them a couple weeks. The onion we did get this last week, and I've used a little bit, and so I'm just gonna like chop it up into quarters and dump it into the roast and get that used up. On Thursday, I'm going to do cheese quesadillas with a box of Old El Paso rice that I have. I had meant to make the rice with the smothered burritos, but we decided to do chips and salsa instead. So that, I still have that rice, and that'll go good with the quesadillas. Sorry, like the weather has got my face like really itchy and feeling really weird. One of the things that we are doing the weekend of the 4th of July is we are tearing apart our kitchen. We have lived here 15 years, and the kitchen needs a little bit of attention. When we moved in, Sam did a basic coat of like a white-ish primer paint that we had bought, and you've probably seen it in the background of the videos. We didn't take the handles off. We tried to paint around them. It's time to give the kitchen some tender loving care. And so we are going to be working on taking out the doors of the cabinets and the drawers. We've bought we bought handles and whatnot. And yes, we live in a rental. And yes, we put money into the rental that we live in because we want it to feel like a home. So on Friday, because the kitchen is closed, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to move the crock pot in here where my coffee bar is and just plug it in here. And I'm just going to do up another pork tenderloin of pulled pork, because that'll be something that we can put it in the morning and kind of forget about it and let it go while we're working. We do plan and that's for dinner. For lunch, we will probably grab something out. Not McDonald's. Whoa, where did that come from? Pizza Hut has an express lunch that you can typically get a few things that are relatively inexpensive. Sonic has an inexpensive $1.99 menu. But we are going to take a break around lunch and go to Marion and go to the thrift store. So we might even pick something up over in Marion for around then. Saturday the 4th, my dad is cooking ribs and Mom is making homemade potato salad. I just about poked my eye out with my pencil. And so, but Dad's also said he would do a few hot dogs, and we have some frozen smash burgers in the freezer. And so we're going to take those over, and he's going to do those up at the end. And then, obviously, Mom will send home leftovers, because my dad doesn't eat leftovers. And so that'll all come home with us. Oh, excuse me. And then Sunday is going to be leftovers on your own. It could quite possibly be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because again, we'll be working in the kitchen. Monday, the plan right now is to do quesadillas again, because they're quick, simple, easy, and the nice thing is we don't have to worry about baseball, because like I said, tonight, when you're seeing this video, is the last rec baseball. And then Tuesday we'll do hot links and potato salad. You'll probably hear me say hot links a lot, especially in the summer, because they are something really quick, really easy. We get the Bar S, and it comes with 16 in a package for $10. And so if we do up 8, that is one package of buns. And whether we eat a couple, at night and have them cold in the refrigerator for a couple days, it's nothing for us to grab one for a lunch or even a breakfast once they're cooked. I mean, they're already cooked, but once they taste better if they're on the grill. And then probably some potato salad or baked beans or something to go with that. So that is the last week's how the menu planning went, and then the plan for this week. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, excuse me. The grocery list for this next week is really pretty small. We'll have takeout on Tuesday, and there's always inexpensive things sorry, I almost said McDonald's again. Braum's has a bag of burgers. It costs more if you add cheese, but we have cheese at home that we can add ourselves instead of paying for them to add cheese. And just know, oh no, if you have a Brahms around, they have the best dill pickles, and they sell them in their little grocery area. Just saying. So we'll spend probably $10 to $15 on Tuesday out of our grocery budget on that. We need to buy the roast, which will probably be the most expensive part of this whole week's groceries. We'll need, there's a potential that we'll buy another pork tenderloin, or I'll just set the one out of the freezer, and use it up. We'll need two packages of hamburger buns, one for home for the pulled pork on Friday, one to take to mom and dad's, 2 packages of hot dog buns, again, one to take over to mom and dad's, one for the hot links on Tuesday the 7th. But that's like next week's menu, and so is the quesadillas on the 6th. So you know a little bit of what next week's kind of looking like. But again, we are in the middle of a heat wave, and until further notice, my oven is turned off. Like, it's just not happening. My air conditioner right here, she was having some problems earlier. So we put some water in her, and she's feeling much better. But I don't want to add to the work that it's having to do to help keep the house feeling good. Oh, I am exhausted, guys. So anyway, that is it for this week. Let me know in the comments what you guys are planning for the 4th of July. Are you doing a big cookout? I know Salina, where Sam grew up, where my brother and his family live, do play day in the park with like a free like lunch and the municipal band and stuff. But it is gonna be so hot. We've gone in the past, but I don't think we're going this year because we have work that we want to get done in the kitchen. So let me know what your plans for the 4th of July are. I'm always interested in what people do for the holidays. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Toodles!